Welcome back. This is part 2 of the video on graphics. We're going to start off by showing how you can use loops to draw different symbols. So in this first example on the slide, as you can see, we've got background color is yellow, then we change the color to red, and we're using a for loop to draw 10 circles. But look how we do it. You see how the circles go? So basically you are going to draw a circle. All circles are going to be 50 pixels wide and 50 pixels high. And you're going to start right here, draw the circle, and then apparently move 20 in the X and 20 in the Y to draw the second circle. As you can see, our loop counter I is going from 1 to 10. And so that means each time you draw, the X coordinate is going to be increased by 20. And the Y coordinate is going to be increased by 20. Apparently, the first circle is drawn at X at 100 and Y at 5. And so we just draw the circles that way. But probably another way you can do it is, remember how with arrays, when you wanted to use a loop to go through an array, a one-dimensional array that is, you used a loop counter and started at 0 instead of 1 because the index of the first element is always 0. Well, you can do the similar thing with these graphics. So in order to get this line of boxes, let's start our loop counter at 0. So just like an array started at 0, and just like array, the condition is strictly less than. It is not less than or equal to. And here, since we're drawing them in a straight line, the only thing that changes is the X coordinate. So that means when I is 0, you get 20 times 0. So the first box is drawn at X is 11 and Y at 18. Then when I becomes a 1, the second box is drawn at 11 plus 20, so 31, and so on and so forth. You could, however, change both the X and Y coordinates, like we do in this next example, where now we're going to get a different X coordinate and a different Y coordinate. So the Y coordinate of the first box is 98, but then notice we're subtracting 20 each time. That means the Y coordinate will move up. And based on this, you get these stairs, shall we say, because you're changing the X and Y coordinate. Another thing you can do in the slides is try to draw something like this. All right, don't worry about the blue background. Don't worry about the text. BJP is right here. Look at these stairs that are being drawn. You've got 10 stairs, okay? So it says here, each stair is 9 pixels tall. So the height of each stair, rectangle, is going to be the same. But it says the first stair is 10 pixels wide, okay? Second stair is 20 pixels wide. So as you draw each of the stairs, you're increasing the width by 10 pixels. And the stairs are also 10 pixels apart. When we say 10 pixels apart, that's how much you're going to change the Y coordinate to move down to create stairs. So the code to draw that is on the next slide. And let's focus on this for loop right here. This is where we're drawing the stairs. Okay, now in the picture on the previous slide, all the stairs started in the same place. So they all have an X coordinate, a starting X of 20. But then each one is 10 pixels apart. So therefore, each time you draw a stair, you're going to change the Y coordinate, I'm sorry, by 10. You're also going to increase the width by 10. Now remember, it said the first stair was 10 pixels wide. Well, notice our loop counter starts at 0. So for the width, it's 10 plus 10 times I. Well, I is 0, so that means 10 times 0 is 0. So the first stair is going to be 10 pixels wide. When I is 1, the second stair is 20 pixels wide. When I is 2, the second stair is 30 pixels wide, etc. So to get the stairs effect in this case, you're going to change the Y coordinate and the width for each one for each stair. The x-coordinate in this case will always be 20, and the height of each stair will always be 9. So in order to do that, let me bring up my program I've run. Here's my output with something extra added to it. And I want you to focus on these stairs right here that I've drawn. I'm kind of going the opposite way. I got the longest one on top and the shortest one on the bottom. So here's how I did that. Now you'll notice, let's count. There are 7 stairs that I have drawn. So here in my loop, I use my loop counter X and I initialize it to 0 and I say strictly less than 7. So I decide that each stair is going to have a starting X coordinate of 135. And I also decided that each stair is 12 pixels tall. Well, that means in order to get this effect, the very first stair is going to be 200 pixels wide. So it's 200 plus 15 times x. I'm sorry, that's the x coordinate. That's the y coordinate. The y coordinate is going to the y coordinate of the first stair is going to be y 200. And that y coordinate will increase by 15 for each of the stairs. Now then, the width, what I was trying to get to earlier, is going to be initially 150. So the first stair is 150 pixels long, but that width is going to decrease by 15 pixels for each stair. Do you see how it decreases? So each time I go through this loop, I'm going to draw a rectangle that's going to have a starting x coordinate of 135 and a height of 12. All the stairs will have that. But for each stair, the first stair is going to be at y coordinate 200 and have a width of 150. After that, the y coordinate for each stair will increase by 15, so it moves lower, and the width will decrease by 15 to get this effect that you see right here. That's how you can draw the stair effect using a loop. Now, one more thing I'm going to show you, we're not going to go about resizing it, is drawing a polygon. You want to draw your own kind of shape besides an oval or a circle or a square or a rectangle. You need to create a polygon class. So the way you do it is like this. I'll go right to my example. I'll go back to that in just a second. Okay, so first I change the color to magenta. You have to create an object of the polygon class, which is built in here in this way. Polygon class, I'm calling the object poly, P-O-L-Y. Then you need to add points, sort of like the way we drew a triangle before. And then you call a fill polygon method. Yes, there's also a draw polygon method to draw the polygon. When you do, here's my great big magenta triangle right there. These lines of code that you see here and that I have circled, that draws the big magenta triangle. Now I also decided to get that wonderful draw string method involved. So I changed the color to white and I decided to put my name right there. Call it a signature on my artwork. Feel free to make jokes about that. Okay. Now one more thing I'm going to show you. It was back here. There are other methods you can use. There's a set width, set height, set size, but there's also a sleep method. This is where you can get a little animation going. You can put this inside a loop when you draw things, and it's kind of a stop action thing. And I have one right here. I have it commented out, but I'm going to put it back in. So I say panel.sleep. And then I have the number 500 in the parentheses. The parameter you send the sleep method is milliseconds. So 1,000th of a second. So if I put 500, that means you're pausing for 500 milliseconds, which is the same thing as half a second. So let me compile that. And I'm going to run this program and show you what it does. So no, not drawing panel. There we go. Watch what happens. Look at the stairs. Did you see how it drew one at a time and then paused for a little bit? That's how that sleep method is how you get animation involved in the graphics. And that, everyone, is how you use the graphics tool in Java. What you've seen in these videos should help you on the extra credit assignment. If you have any questions, please send me an email at kmuldrow@lbcc.edu.